Welcome to PDAC 2023. My name is Julian DeRosi from the IIF. I'm here joined by Mike. Hi Mike, how are you doing?
Hello, thank you very much.
So Mike, can you first of all introduce yourself and the company you're working for?
Okay, my name is Mike Hodgson. I'm the CEO of Serabi Gold, and our company is a TSX and name-listed company, junior. We've got gold production in Brazil, in the Tapajós, in the Pará state, a very prolific artisanal gold field, and we're the first hard rock producer, having put a mine into production in initially 2005. It closed in 2008, but we did a successful brownfield restart in 2012, and it's been operating very successfully ever since, ramping up to about 35,000 ounces. And we've just added in our second mine, called Coringa, which is it's in development with very minimal production at the moment, but our plans are to ramp up that production and double our production to get to sort of 70,000 ounces, which is obviously going to be quite a step change for a company of our size.
Well, transformable for sure. And then this asset, did you actually develop it yourself? Was it a past producing mine? How did you come into putting that second asset into production?
It was an asset that we bought from Anfield Gold, which is kind of part of what we now call Equinox. They actually purchased it from another Canadian junior, so it's always been Greenfield, and I suppose it's a very tidy, nice little project, which is probably a bit too small for Anfield, but it was great for us. It's in our backyard, it's with our existing 40,000 ounces, adding in another 40,000 ounces made a lot of sense for us to pick it up to consolidate in the district. So it was very fortunate for us it became available. So we purchased it back in 2018.
Well, this is great to hear. Not many exploration company can go from exploration to a first project, then to a second project, grow actually, especially brownfield, restarting of a mine. Quite a lot of stories that actually don't end up good in that field, and then you guys made a success out of it. This is always great to hear. So basically, what are the milestone of accomplishment for the next 12 months and going all the way to the ramp up and commercial production?
Okay, well, basically it's steady as she goes with the existing asset, Polito. That's obviously generating us a little bit of cash. Coringa it's starting the mine development. We're just starting stoping there. We've got a mining license, so the mine is operating. Really, the next step we've got to do is actually get the full license, the full mining license. And at the moment, we've been sort of slightly delayed on that because we're doing an indigenous study at the moment to get a complete sign-off on that. That's going to come out in the next month. It's going to show very little impact, certainly no negative impact at all for the area. So that's all good. And hopefully in Q2, perhaps Q3 this year, we will get that indigenous study completed, which will lead to the installation license. That will allow us to start constructing the process plant. The truth is, we're probably not going to construct the full process plant. We've actually, since we've got underground at Coringa, this new asset, we've actually found that the contrast between the ore and the waste is superb. And one thing which I haven't mentioned is at Polito, we've got a very clever piece of kit called an ore sorter. And this physically separates the ore and the waste on either density differences or on colour. And since we've actually got on the ground at Coringa, we've realised how fabulous the ore body is and amenable for that. So our intent is to actually install a crusher and ore sorter and just transport pre-concentrated ore to our Polito plant up the road, and so there'll be a real synergy between the two assets. So that's our intent. So all being well, we'll be getting that license, so the LI, the installation license, in say late Q2, early Q3, and with that will come project finance. We can ramp up Coringa and follow that strategy.
And what's your production capacity at your mill currently?
Well, it's very easy to expand. I mean, at the moment, it's in terms of it's tonnage constrained, obviously. Yeah. But the idea of ore sorting is what you're doing is you're enhancing grade.
Exactly.
So what you're doing all the time is, we've got an ore sorter at Polito, we put another ore sorter at Coringa. We could actually get that process plant up to the throughput rate won't change, but if the grade goes up, we could get it up to about 60,000 ounces. So we could actually almost reach our the two mines producing 70,000 ounces with existing plant today. If we need a bit more throughput capacity, one more ball mill, it's very easily to modularly expand. A bit more milling capacity, a bit more cyanidation, leaching capacity, easily done.
Great to hear. So let's talk a bit about your balance sheet. So the numbers published last year. What were your bottom line, and basically what are your guidance for this year?
Well, in terms of last year, we produced about 32,000 ounces. anticipated producing about 30, so a little bit over guidance, which was good. Our costs were pretty much in line with guidance. So we're generating not a lot of cash, probably we've got a margin of $200 an ounce, something like that. And most of that money is just going straight back into Coringa. That's it. That's all we're doing. And we do a little bit of exploration as well, so that's what's going on there. This year we're going to try to, you can see up there behind me, 35,000 ounces is our guidance. So hopefully we're going to generate a little bit more cash, and as I say, that is going to go into Coringa. But we're going to need a little bit of project finance probably along the way. But as soon as we can actually start adding in Coringa ounces, certainly that'll improve our
well, then your all-in sustaining cost should lower, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment,
lower CapEx.
That's sitting at around 1,400, so we've got sort of that number. We anticipate that we should be able to bring our all-in sustaining cost down maybe $200, $250 as the production from Coringa grows. So
this is obviously excellent news for investors, and they can look forward into obviously bigger margin, into margin that are more comparable to other assets, gold producer out there. But then, knowing mining companies, you surely already have plans after that. So what is the future after the next project?
Well, I suppose that we've one thing I haven't talked about yet is we've got a very exciting concession, particularly around Polito. And last year we did a very modest exploration program. It is modest because obviously we haven't got a lot of cash to go around, and our cash generally gets diverted to Coringa. But we kept a little bit aside to do some exploration, Greenfield exploration. We've got about 7 targets around Polito, where we've got about 40,000 hectares, which are certainly have the appearance from either geophysical or geochemical anomalies that they could be of scale, or another sort of stack of veins like we have at Polito. We did actually drill one of these called Matilda in late last year, and we got 3 holes which demonstrated we have a porphyry copper deposit in our backyard. Now, of course, if that turns out to be a porphyry of any size, it's very difficult for a little company like Serabi to sort of take that on. But at this moment in time, we're doing we hope to do a few more holes into that this year, and we've also had we've had a fair bit of interest from larger companies that might want to come on board and go forward with that in a joint venture line in some way. So those discussions are ongoing. I mean, it's that type of deposit is very difficult for a company of our size to do. But as I say, that will be a great problem to have if we actually have something like that. And we've actually the whole idea is, there's that plus a series of other projects in and around, which are maybe a little bit smaller, more our size. Exciting times to see where that goes.
Great blue sky, already producing, second asset coming into production. What is your share structure looking like?
Well, we've got, like Menu Junior, we're not as liquid as we would like to be. We have 2 big shareholders, 25% each. And one's been around for a long time with us, the other fairly recently. And then the rest of we trade mostly in London as opposed to Toronto. But I think about 80% of our stock is held in sort of 4 groups.
Okay, yeah.
So it's a fairly similar story that we have with Menu Junior, that liquidity is always a challenge, and that's it. But we would certainly, I don't particularly think the way we're going forward with financing going forward, that we've got a good balance sheet, and we're very, very well, we're clear, we've got no debt at the moment. So it would be very good for us to, or minimal debt, let's say. So it would be debt finance would probably be the way we would go, and sort of protect the interests of our existing shareholders regarding to building Coringa, certainly.
Well, in a nutshell, that was only good news, only good elements you have going on there. So any closing statement, anyone you would want to say for new shareholders that want to come on, any message to them?
Well, I think that's fairly simple. I mean, the company itself today is probably a better place than it was 3 years ago when our stock was sitting about 80p, so at 31, 32, 33p, whatever it is today. It's fantastic value. We've de-risked the company enormously, with Coringa poised to actually get its permit, and certainly we're moving forward with that. And with this, I mean, I think the main thing is we're not building a process plant. It's going to be no tailings dam there. Yeah. Environmentally, it's a very small, no risk at all. Yeah. Very small footprint. So we're certainly looking forward to keeping the market informed about sort of moving from 30 to 40 to 50 to 67,000 ounces over the next 2 years.
Well, perfect. So lastly, for everyone that watch, everyone interested to follow more about your story, where can they do that?
Okay, well, our website is www.serabigold.com, and where you can find my details and contact the company and learn about Serabi and what we're doing and where we're going.
Well, perfect. Well, Greg, thank you very much for your time. That's all we had, and best of luck for the next 12 months.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.